Hey everybody, what are the attributes of God? All of you should know by now that God is the infinite, or God is the universe. So some of the attributes of the universe, or the infinite, is that it has a will. The universe wants to do what it's doing. The infinite has intent. So how do we know that that's true? What is the irrefutable evidence that the universe wants to do what it's doing? Um, the evidence is that we could look at events that take place in the universe and see that they have reasons and purpose. The evidence that something has reason and purpose is the evidence that proves intent, is the evidence that proves that something wanted it to happen. So, for example, you could look at the civil rights movement. That is an event that took place in the universe. Um, how do we know that something wanted it? How do we know that there was intent behind it? The reason why we know that is because there's reasons for it coming into being. We know that the civil rights movement had purpose. There was a purpose behind it. That's what leads us to believe that something wanted it to happen, that there was intent behind it. Finding reason and purpose in the universe or in events that take place is how we put people in jail for first-degree murder. We find reasons and purpose to prove intent, or that someone wanted to do something thousands of times every day in court. That is the evidence that is used. So you might be thinking right now, well, yeah, human beings have purpose, or I'm sorry, human beings have a will, and human beings have intent, but human beings are the only thing that could have intent. Human beings are the only thing that could have a will. That is what a lot of you are thinking. But we could prove that something other than human beings have intent and have a will in the same way we prove that human beings have intent and a will. The same way we prove human beings have intent and a will, we could look for that same evidence, that same irrefutable evidence. So when we look out into the universe, we notice that there's purpose and reason in things. If you look at a mother producing milk, a mother produces milk for the purpose of feeding her child. That is the reason a mother produces milk. The purpose of her milk is to feed the child. If you look at sweating, when people sweat, the purpose of sweat is to cool you down. The reason why you sweat is to cool down. A snake's poison. A snake produces poison to kill its prey. The reason a snake produces poison is to kill its prey. That is the purpose of its poison. We can see countless examples of how reason and purpose fill the universe. That is the evidence that the universe has a will. That is the evidence that the universe has intent. It's the exact same evidence used in courts of law every single day. So why don't people accept that evidence? Why do people make exceptions for that evidence? Why do people say, yes, that's evidence for people having intent, but the same evidence used to prove that people have intent, we won't accept regarding the universe? And the reason for that is because the opposition to this, atheist institutions, are not designed to accept evidence that will destroy their institutions. So when I'm talking about atheist institutions, I'm not talking about each individual atheist. Each individual atheist is different, and some are great, some suck, like everyone else. But atheism as a whole is built into institutions that, like any institution, like Muslims, like Catholics, like anyone, won't accept any evidence that will destroy their institution. But we can get into that in a future video. So, can you go against the will of the universe? Yes. Can you submit yourself to the universe? Yes. And again, the pros and cons for both will be discussed in a future video. So, until next time.